if you ever need me to just do a bunch of audio liners or whatever, or on a phone or whatever, just drop them through to the label and they'll send them over and we'll get them done.
Okay, no, that'll be awesome. Thanks a lot for being so available. I appreciate that. Because usually I have to deliver a urine sample, a blood sample, and 3 months bank statements before I actually get something. So it's cool that you're that accessible. Thank you, dude. You are nothing like Justin Bieber. I appreciate you.
From the top.
Give me that beat, DJ.
The KFM Top 40 with Carl Wastie. Your 40 biggest hits
Across the Cape.
Dude,
How are you doing, Carl? How are you doing?
I'm so good. I was so excited to hear about the things that we're going to reveal now in this chat. But first and foremost, we need to catch up because you've been touring with the script, which has been phenomenal. I know there was that one day where the doctor put you off, and man,
I was just saying to the guys then, it was without a doubt the worst time in my career, because I've never ever had to cancel a show. And what makes it worse is that I was taking care of myself and I was going to the gym and I was eating well, and I was missing out on all the social stuff, because at the end of a show it's a celebration every night, because you're like, we did it, we smashed it, and you feel so high on the adrenaline of the show that you kind of want to like celebrate and enjoy yourselves. And I was taking myself away. I was going into my bunk and watching Netflix to try and get away from all the shouting. Like, I really tried, and then just something happened with my voice. I think it's probably because I'm out of practice, a bit rusty. It's been 2.5 years of me not doing touring, and I think it just got the better of me. And I saw my ENT doctor, and he was like, look, you've got 3 shows. He was like, I'm recommending voice rest. Here's some like vocal steroids to get through the last show. And it was I was in tears. I was so sad to cancel Boston and Philadelphia, but I've made a promise to them, and I've said that I'm going to come back. And after we announced the tour, both of those shows sold out, so we definitely will be going back. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, I'm so happy because honestly I felt for you. That's why I messaged you. I was like, dude, it's gonna be fine. We are only human. I think that one of your albums would speak to that anyway. It's the vulnerability that makes us strong. So don't worry, dude. You got this. Okay?
Unapologetic promo of my first album there as well.
Well, this is a very good time to chat about Only Human, because I want to, before we announce what we need to announce, which is going to be incredible, but I think it's important for us to focus on your journey, which has been so great. And yes, Only Human, the way I feel how people create albums is that I feel like that is you saying, just finish the reality TV show. Don't forget that Calum Scott is a human being that feels like you feel. Let's feel together. Listen to my music. Am I close in terms of the way you titled that album?
Oh man, 100%. I mean, I think the first album was a total like shocker for me, because I was like, I'm signed. I get to write an album. This is crazy. Signed by Capitol Records. It's like Frank Sinatra and the Beach Boys and the Beatles, and so there was obviously I was doughy-eyed about the whole situation. I'd gone from working in my human resources job to being signed and starting an album.
Yeah.
So I think my first album was me just being like, oh my God, this is crazy, and I want to write about this and this and this, and it ended up being like life to date, basically. And so when I was looking through the songs and trying to figure out like what do I want to, what does the album say? And I was just like, it just speaks of very human emotion, like jealousy and anger and resentment, but then love and admiration and all those very human traits that we all have. There was a time when I'd hear it from quite a few people, but one particular was my mum, where she'd be like, darling, you're only human. And I was like, ooh, that's really, I'm like, just bear with me, mum, like write it down. But it's like those, it very like easily sums up what I'm trying to say is you're only human. Don't ever feel bad for the way you feel, let it out if you need to. This album has been a bit more difficult, Carl, because I had my whole life to prepare for that first album. The second album was like, what's happened next? And so I think we've spoken before. I was like, what, looking in my mirror and going like, what is it you want to say? You don't want to just regurgitate what you've said. So I'm like digging deep. And this album, which I can now announce is called Bridges, is about where am I right now? And, it's that I feel more like Calum Scott than I ever before. And I think that's exciting to me. It's actually I'm actually really nervous as well, because I've put a lot of me, maybe a little bit too much into this album, but I just see the way that the first album has done and how it's resonated with people, and I just go, I have a sort of a duty now to carry on writing, like you say, from that very human emotion, because that's what we all share. And you know, one of the things that, you know, we can all resonate with is emotion and, you know, falling in love and heartbreak and losing someone and all these things that tie us together as humans, you know. So yeah, so this second one has been a little bit to get together, but I'm very proud of it. It's probably my best work yet, I think.
It's important for me to thank you for releasing it on the 15th of June. It is a day after my birthday. So I'm going to take the album as a gift, and I want to say thank you.
You're very welcome, man. You're very welcome. I think it's on the 17th of June, though.
Is it 17th? What? Hold on. What? Just give me a second. It says 15th. 17th. Doesn't matter.
It's a belated birthday present.
As I said, only human. I felt the vulnerability. Bridges. Here is another little piece that I felt when I heard that the album's called Bridges, is the fact that we as human beings, don't you feel like sometimes we find so many differences within ourselves and we look at those differences as ways to sort of separate our paths, but actually our differences are the bridges. Those people who share with you how they interpret things. Look at like COVID, the way we experienced it was different. Some people said, oh, I had a great time being on my own. Some people were saying, you know what, I had the worst time. And we have different experiences, but if we share those, we build bridges with each other to share. And I feel like that is what I get from the album.
I mean, I love that. I love that interpretation of it, because it is that. It's, you know, and I when I was sort of, again, sat on these songs going, what is the message of the album? I think, you know, it's that. It's either the metaphorical bridges between people, it's the connections between, especially between me and my fans and me and my listeners. Yeah. Because I don't see it as, you know, me speaking to my audience. I see it as a very much a two-way thing of, you know, I'm inspired by my fans, and then hopefully I can inspire my fans as well. And it's this kind of to and fro. Also, like you say, it's bridges between people, bridges between. I've seen a community of Calum Scott fans that are just their relationship with each other through the love of my music is just so like fantastical in my mind that that's something that I've been able to connect together. You know, and it's also one of the title tracks of the album, which is the most personal song I've ever written. It's a song that is, you know, it talks about a much darker time in my life, but one that still speaks of hope. And like I said, when I said I've been putting a bit too much of myself into this album, it's a conversation I've not really had, even with some of the closest people in my life. And it was a big decision whether I would put that on the album. But I just felt like if me being honest is changing people's lives or is helping people with their journeys, then I have to. It's not even a case of, oh, but you know, it's very personal.
Yeah.
Personal schmersonal. At the end of the day, this is the industry that I've come into, and me being vulnerable and ripping pages out of my diary and holding it up to the world is what's helping other people. And I think I've got to kind of give that, you know, I've got to give into that power and sort of just go, you know, this isn't just my story. You know, everybody's been in, a lot of people have been in the same position as me. So it's tough because it's as exciting as it is, it's very daunting. But you know what? If it's not good if it's not easy. You know. I
think this is power. Thank you for sharing a lot of yourself. I mean, you share a lot of who you are and how you experience the world in your music, which is great. And I think that people need a more intimate share. And this is where we get to a big part where we actually, you know, we speak about what we've spoken about before. The last time I chatted to you, I said, please come back to South Africa.
Yes.
And then I said to you, if you ever change your mind.
If you ever change your mind, I told myself I won't relapse.
I said, if you ever change your mind about coming to South Africa, you need to tell me, and this is why you're going to tell me something, because turns out Calum Scott is coming to South Africa. Yes, cue the air horn.
You manifested it. You manifested it.
I did. I'm excited because I feel like I was a part of this.
You was. I mean, all of a sudden there were just dates in my diary. So obviously the Carl Wastie has manifested my South Africa trip. But yeah, I'm coming back on the 23rd to Cape Town, the 25th to Durban, and the 26th to Johannesburg in November. And do you know what? I said this to a friend the other day. It was like, where's the best place you've been? You know, who's the best crowd you've ever performed to? And South Africa it still holds the record for the biggest Calum Scott crowd that I've had, which was in Durban, which was 11,000 people. And that still blows my mind that there was that many people there to see my show. That's so humbling and so incredible that's why we wanted to come back. And do you know what the best part about this is that the world tour ends in Johannesburg. So it's like
so good.
It ends in South Africa. I'm gonna bring some family out. I'm gonna spend some time there.
Please do. Yes.
Be
You're going to
amazing.
spend some time with me. We're going to chill, relax with the fam. Okay? You're going to do
My
that
mum
too.
will absolutely love you. She won't stop talking to you.
That's me. I don't
She'll
stop
end up being a
talking.
co-presenter
Really.
at KFM. I'm telling you.
She better. Bring it through. I'd love to chat to your mom.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, and I'll get to this in a second, but it's Mother's Day tomorrow
Yes.
when this airs.
Okay.
So give me a second. So Calum, you chatted about your mom and the fact that Only Human is kind of her idea, the title of the album, which is great. And tomorrow, coincidentally, we celebrate Mother's Day. So if you have any messages to the moms of the Western Cape, South Africa, and you want to take this platform to share some love to the moms, I think they'll appreciate it ahead of the big day tomorrow. What would you like to say to them?
What I want to say to all the mums, I mean, I'm a total mummy's boy, and I think mums are some of the best people on the planet. Mums know how to do everything. They know how they have this infinite knowledge. If I spill something on my top, the only person that can get it out is my mum. So what I want to say to mums all across the world is, especially in South Africa as well, you're all appreciated, you're all valued, and for me, mums are the pinnacle. Mums for me are the top of the chain. They're the bosses. I hope you have the most incredible Mother's Day. And if unfortunately you don't feel that love tomorrow, then I'm telling you, you are the reason. There you go.
Are you trying to make me cry? I'm not a mom, but I felt that. Like, what are you trying to do here, man? Oh my gosh. Dude, I can't wait to see you. In November. It's going to be great. Breakoutevents.co.za has got the tickets. We're going to get this sold out. And the great thing about the venue is that you are going to be performing in gardens. So Emmarentia, that's going to be Johannesburg, Durban Botanical Gardens as well. And then Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens is like the pinnacle of gardens in like South Africa. In fact, African continent. Do you realize that venue? I'm not sure if you've been there before, maybe to take a walk when you're down here last time, but it is unbelievably natural in so many different ways. People get to sit in the grass. People get to experience that family, that vibe. And I love the intimacy of the venue. You have the perfect personality for Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens. And I cannot wait to see you thrive and bloom in a botanical garden. Like, it's going to be great. Thank you. You're welcome. Flower power. It's how you rose to fame. With my friend Lily and Daisy, you'll be there too. And I mean, I know at the moment you're probably soiling yourself, but it's actually just, the grass is greener where you water it. And you are going to water it so that we can walk over the bridges, because we're only human. We can't walk normally and experience life.
I'm done. There's only so many puns that you can have, Carl. I mean, come on now. That was very good.
Calum, I'm going to see you soon. Look after yourself, and it's going to be so great. I can't wait to meet your mom.
I know. And listen, what I want to say, like I said to you before, thank you so much for the support. You know how much it means to me, and for you guys at KFM and the listeners, and for you to support me since the beginning, but especially over that 2-year period, and to continue to be listening to the music is just, I can't tell you how grateful that makes me feel. So thank you all very, very much, and I will see you in November.
From the top.
Give me that beat, DJ.
The KFM Top 40 with Carl Wastie.
Stop it.
Your 40 biggest hits
Across the